Beginning, the lost child of Zarathia. The first time I met Queen Celera of Zarathia, she was kneeling over a hollow projector, tears glinting in her violet eyes as she traced the star systems where her daughter had disappeared. I'm Commander Elias Ward, human envoy to the Zarathian Empire, a proud and distant civilization that ruled hundreds of star systems in the Outer Rim. To them, humans were a curiosity at best, a minor species barely worth diplomatic recognition. Yet here I was, standing in the grand palace of Zarathia, witnessing a queen's grief that transcended species boundaries. Her daughter, Princess Lyria, had vanished 2 standard cycles ago during a diplomatic mission gone catastrophically wrong. Rumors of alien raiders, cosmic storms, and even interdimensional abductions swirled across the empire, but no trace of the princess had ever been found. Every search party returned empty-handed. Queen Celera, despite her majesty, had retreated into private mourning. The halls of the palace were filled with ornate statues, luminous gardens, and countless servants, yet an emptiness lingered, a void only a mother's missing child could leave. I had been sent to Zarathia under the guise of negotiating trade routes and sharing human engineering designs for new orbital defense satellites. But I had heard whispers among the council members. Celera's grief was more than personal. It was affecting the stability of the empire. The palace corridors were silent as I was escorted to her chambers. Servants bowed to me, and I bowed back, though I felt out of place. The queen didn't rise. She didn't acknowledge my arrival beyond a cold nod. Her eyes remained fixed on the map of star systems where her daughter had last been seen. "Commander Ward," she said without looking at me, "you humans pride yourselves on resilience. Tell me, what would you do if the most precious part of your life was stolen and the universe gave no answers?" I swallowed. I'd keep searching. Until there was none left to find, I'd keep searching. Her head snapped up. For the first time, I saw something beyond grief, hope mixed with a desperate curiosity. "You would risk everything?" she asked. "Everything," I said. Her gaze softened slightly. "Then perhaps you are the one who can help me." That was the moment my role shifted. I was no longer a human diplomat. I was about to become the Queen's only hope. Following the trail across the stars. The trail was faint. Princess Lyria had been taken near the Karath Nebula, a sector notorious for its rogue pirate clans and unpredictable gravitational anomalies. Conventional sensors had failed to detect her vessel, and standard tracking methods yielded nothing. But humans, it seemed, had a certain stubbornness and improvisation that the Zarathians lacked. I spent days studying the available data, cross-referencing intercepted communications, energy signatures, and even rumors from independent traders. It was painstaking, like finding a needle in a universe-sized haystack. And then I found it. A faint energy signature, almost imperceptible, drifting along the edge of the nebula. It matched the unique biosignature of the Zarathian royal lineage. Lyria was alive. When I reported it to Queen Celera, she nearly collapsed in relief. How do you know?" she whispered, her hands trembling over the holomap. "I followed the pattern," I said simply. "The pirates left traces, and your daughter's biosignature is still active. She's being held on a drifting station near the Outer Rim. It's heavily guarded, but I know how to get her out." Her violet eyes filled with tears. "You would risk your life for her?" "I've risked my life plenty of times," I replied. "But this is worth it." The rescue operation was unlike any mission I'd ever undertaken. The pirate station was a fortress in orbit around a dead planet, protected by turrets, drones, and a rotating field of cloaked patrols. But using human ingenuity combined with Valorian hacking techniques I'd learned from allies, I found a weakness. We breached the station through an old maintenance shaft. The airlocks hissed open as I moved through narrow corridors, my pulse quickening with every step. I could hear the faint hum of life support systems, and then I saw her, Princess Lyria, shackled and weak, but alive. Her eyes were wide, filled with fear and relief all at once. "Commander." "Ward," she whispered. "It's okay," I said. "I'm here. You're coming home." We moved quickly. The pirates were alerted to our presence, and a chase through the station's winding corridors began. Lyria, despite her ordeal, showed courage beyond her years, guiding me through hidden passages she had memorized before being captured. Finally, we reached the docking bay. I prepared a human shuttle while fending off pursuing guards. Lyria climbed in, and I followed, sealing the hatch behind us. The engines roared as we blasted off into the void, narrowly escaping the pirate station's countermeasures. As the stars streaked past, Lyria collapsed in her seat, exhausted but smiling weakly. I thought I would never see home," she said. "You're safe now," I reassured her. "Your mother is waiting." And for the first time, hope filled her violet eyes completely. The return, a mother's joy. When we arrived at Zarathia, the palace was ablaze with anticipation. Word of a human-led rescue mission had spread, and whispers filled the corridors. A miracle, some called it. But no one knew the full story. Queen Celera was in the grand observation chamber, pacing as if time itself had slowed. When she saw us land, she ran, not walking, running, toward the shuttle. "Lyria," she screamed, and for a moment, the weight of the galaxy lifted off her shoulders. Her daughter ran to her, and the two collapsed into each other's arms. The entire court fell silent, watching this intimate reunion between mother and daughter. "I thought you were gone forever," Celera whispered into her daughter's hair. "I'm here," Lyria replied, her voice trembling. "Because he didn't give up." She looked at me, gratitude shining in her gaze. The Empress approached, her regal composure slightly shaken by the scene. "Commander Ward," she said, her tone formal but tinged with emotion, "you have done what no Zarathian could. You have returned the lost princess to her mother. You have our deepest thanks." I bowed. "It was my honor, Your Majesty. No one should lose what they love. Not to pirates, not to chance, not to the universe itself." Celera finally turned to me, her eyes shimmering. "You have given me back more than my daughter. You have given me hope. And in our culture, hope is worth more than any technology or treaty." I felt a strange warmth, a connection I hadn't expected with beings so alien, yet so human in their emotions. Princess Lyria stepped forward. "Commander Ward," she said softly, "I owe you my life." "You owe me nothing," I replied. "I just did what anyone would do if they could." She shook her head. "Not anyone. You risked everything for a stranger, a human for me." I shrugged, trying to hide my own swelling pride. "I guess I'm just stubborn." Leora, her head resting against her mother, looked at me again. "You are more than stubborn. You are courageous. And you are my family now, in a way." Celera smiled, finally allowing herself to be fully happy. And that is a bond that even empires cannot break. Ending. The true worth of one human. In the weeks that followed, Zarathia celebrated the return of Princess Lyria. Across the empire, citizens and nobility alike whispered about the human who had brought her back from the void. Some envied me, some respected me, and some simply marveled at the courage it took to face the dangers of a pirate fortress and defy the odds. For my part, I didn't seek glory. I had returned a lost child to her mother, and in doing so, I had witnessed something extraordinary, the unbreakable bond between a parent and child, and the lengths one would go to restore it. Queen Celera insisted I stay at the palace as an honored guest, and though I had duties as a human envoy, I also spent time learning from the Zarathian scholars, understanding their technology, their history, and their people. Princess Lyria, once a fragile image in a palace portrait, became a leader in her own right. But she never forgot the human who had brought her back. And I, for my part, never forgot the look in Queen Celera's eyes when she finally held her daughter again. Sometimes, the greatest victories in the galaxy are not battles won with fleets or weapons, but battles of the heart. And sometimes, it takes a human, a species often underestimated, to show the true worth of life, love, and hope. Because in the vast expanse of space, a single act of courage can change the fate of an empire. And for Queen Celera and Princess Lyria, that act came in the form of a human who refused to give up. They had thought the daughter was gone forever, but I had seen her true worth and brought her home.